And good evening, fellow commanders, and welcome once more. Welcome finally to the final version of my unofficial, at least Elite Dangerous, unofficial Twitch stream thing that I'm doing right now. Welcome one, and welcome all. Hopefully it's working, because having to get everything set up for No Man's Sky and Star Citizen again and kind of stretch my technical capabilities to the limit. But we're here once more. And tonight we're just celebrating and having some fun, right? So it's going to be a light-hearted stream. There's only a couple of bits and pieces I really wanted to actually try and explore this evening. And the big thing that we must do the biggest possible mass hyperspace jump that we can do. That's definitely the aim and objective of the stream later on. We will get to that. But welcome one and welcome all. Now I must do the thing that is the thing, because the thing is the thing that must be done. And this is the last time I'm going to be able to do it for quite some time. In fact, I don't know how long it's going to be. This is my entire life at the moment has become entirely uncertain, which is, for me, is not very nice, because I am a bit of an OCD kind of an individual. And I do like things organised. I do like things tidy. I like things in little boxes and in little shelves, and all my tools are labelled and all those kind of things. They're all nicely lined up and things like that. And so this entire thing where I have no dates, no times, no location, nothing at all, is very disconcerting for me, very stressful. So I'm looking forward to chill out this evening. So that's my objective. So hopefully that gels with what you want to do as well. So enough waffling, because there will be some waffling, obviously, because that's tradition as well. Let's do the thing is the thing, and the thing that must be done is the thing. So who is first in the chat? It is Ugly Spirit. Congratulations, Ugly Spirit, because you got there at 6 minutes past 7. Almost an entire hour early. That's just insane. So congratulations anyway. So you get to win the first place in the last place stream thing. There's no prizes for that, because we haven't got the budget for any prizes, but in fact we haven't got the budget, so that sort of kills that one. But congratulations, Ugly Spirit, for being the first person in the stream. Who is next? Is Aussie G is here as well. Good to see you in second place there. Blog Twat is here as well. Good to see you. Wintermute GB, of course he is. 15 minutes early, which is pretty darn good. Top Shot is in there as well. Good to see you as well. Triplex Personalities is here too. Nordlander42 is here as well. Cyberboth is here. Saxy Frage 75 is here. Eric Loss is here. Good to see you. Mad Monk Soft is here as ever. Poised as ever. Wikipedia really is. Amazing expertise. Base Snooker is here. Good to see you. Milan the Madman is here. Eridan Dundragon is done dragoning for the day and is once more in the chat with us, which is good to see. Enigma Ish is here as well. How are we going? Have a Boo Boo is here with 4 thumbs up. That's always good to see. The Harkooners are here. Poised as ever. Finally to invade Arrakis. They haven't invaded Arrakis yet on my watch, so maybe they're going to do that while I'm absent, but we'll have to wait and see. Maybe I'll come back and find Arrakis is a complete wasteland. There's no more Arrakis left. It's only the Harkonnens. But you never know. Maybe Arrakis will come back and defeat the Harkonnens after all. Who knows? It's all to be had. It's everything to play for. Commander Tragic Blue 21 is here as well. Top Shot. Yeah, I think I've already said your name, but I like Top Shot. So thank you very much for being here as well. The Big Boo is here. Good to see you, my friend. Big Boo. Always good to see the Big Boo here. The Arrakis is here. Finally waking up and fending off the invasion of the Harkonnens. Who else do we have? Commander Atreya is here as well. Commander Byrne is here as well. Watari Mono is here as well. Ugly Spirit is here. No, I've already said Ugly Spirit. Frank Miner 2949er is here. I'm just trying to remember who I've said hello to. Haunted Loaf is here. Big Boo says, I hope we aren't planning to bash Fdev all evening. No. No, we're not. No. It's going to be fine. I haven't put anything to do with the thing that we're not going to talk about this evening on any of the slides, as you can see. Definitely not Big Bush. It's fine. It's going to be okay. Like I said in the past, we nibble at the hand that feeds us. We don't bite it. Haunted Loaf is here. Modern Master is here as well. Cyberdime here. I can't remember. I'm probably forgetting who I've already spoken to because that's my problem with my short-term memory. Commander Ferrin is here. Bograt is here. Hello, Bograt. Good to see you. Rundown Titan is here. Chris F00001 is here as well. Campasia is here. Minsky is here. Be Good Times is here. Deadstar Omega is here. MP Talby is here. Some good names. There's a good Biff Boy 81 is here. Freaky Deaky Dude is here. Good to see you. Haunted Loaf might have said that. I can't remember. Andy B783, which rhymes? That's always good. Samichi66 is here. Commander Mindle is here. First time chat from Gizmo 104 Drives. Good to see you. Thank you very much for popping in. Lumsays is here. Are there yet? Cyber is here. I can't remember. I get confused. Commander Welsh Dragon, I definitely haven't said that. Good to see you. Am I paying you guys tonight? Is that how bad it's got? Sothy's going well is here as well. Nearly down to the bottom. I think, is anybody here I haven't said hello to? Galactic Gremlin 104. Again, maybe. Hello. Stumpy73. Hello. There's chat still going on. Where's the end of the chat? Jen O'Garan is here. I'm losing it. Stay on target. Commander Siberius is here. Frank Miner is here. No, I think I've said that. And Noki Jin is here. Abstract Play at the last minute. That'll do. Right, that'll do. Right. Kratu. Where's the funny asteroid? Yes, I haven't got to say my funny asteroid line. Commander Silent D is here as well. Good to see you. Right, you ain't seen me. Urban Spark, sorry, did I miss you? Is it 10 o'clock? I lost it years ago. The chat that never ends. Right, that's enough of that. We must get on to the waffle because that's just a tradition as well. Here we go. Yeah, I was going to say, where's funny asteroid? Because it's never a good space game without a funny asteroid. There, I said it. Here we go. Right, it's time for the Worldwide Waffle. Dear. Wrong button.
Welcome.
That one. There we go. Press the right button. I missed Leslie Graham. No. Sorry about that. Dear. Right. Now I could waffle on. I could. Well, I can. You know that. I could waffle on about the thing, but I think we've kind. I think the community's probably already had enough about the thing, haven't we? Dear. Poor old Frontier. They do ask for it though, don't they? They do. Noticing some subtle hints. Are you really? Are they subtle? No, actually, I was going to waffle on about a problem that I've got at the moment, which is entirely something totally unrelated to Elite, in fact, which is I am currently engaged in a fearsome struggle for survival. There's a battle of wits going on in the Wagar household. And it's basically me versus two squirrels. I kid you not. Now, the only slightly concerning thing about this thing is A, I'm outnumbered 2-1, which I think is unfair. B, I am currently losing two said squirrels. Now, this pair of squirrels is trying to get into my attic. And I am trying to stop them getting into my attic. And I'm trying all sorts of different techniques, but the squirrels are pretty remarkable. I hadn't realised how clever the damn things are. They are really good. I mean, forget the Thargoids. These things are properly clever. Yeah, squirrels for the win. They are grey squirrels. They're definitely grey squirrels. Unfortunately, where I live, there are no red squirrels left because the grey squirrels have eaten them. Simple, take the keys off them. Well, the funny thing was, they've basically nibbled a bit of a hole in one of my soffit boards, so I've got to try and get that fixed. But of course, getting access to it is quite hard. And they're jumping in and out, making a bit of a noise above my study when I'm trying to work, which is really, really irritating. I came out and I whacked I went up in the attic with a stick and banged it, and they scampered off. And when an hour later, I came back downstairs, walked out the front door, and found that my car was covered in bits of moss from the roof. And I can only assume that the squirrels went, sod him, and grabbed a bunch of moss off my roof and chucked it at my car. It's like, how can they possibly be that intelligent? So, dear. So yeah, plug the hole with that. So yeah, so any tips on how to keep squirrels out of my house? Because they're being very inventive. They learn from the crows. They are amazingly smart squirrels, which I'm learning now that I'm seriously outgunned in the intellectual departments. Chicken wire, the whole thing. They can do some. Are an exterminator. They can still do some serious damage. Yeah, I think there might be a couple of baby squirrels actually, because presumably they come from the tree which is next to my house, and they want to come and visit my house. So yeah, so. It's time to move house. Oddly enough, yes, it is. It could be magnetic ferrets. That's very dangerous as well. So yeah, so I'm currently losing a battle of wits with a pair of squirrels, or an owl. Yes, maybe I could get an owl. I could dethrottle them. That's possibly a thing. Maybe I'd hit them hard and hit them fast with a vigorous leaflet campaign. Do you think that would work? Air rifle. Trouble is, at the moment I live in quite a suburban area, so I think tweeting an air rifle around and shooting rodents off my roof might not go down too well. I live in one of those areas at the moment, which is a bit, everyone has a sort of posh car, and and keeps their lawn nicely tidy. So not sure it's the kind of area. I don't know. I assume actually it's probably not legal in the UK. I don't know. Is it legal in the UK to shoot a squirrel off your roof? A Black Widow catapult. Now I quite like that, because I could probably get away with that, right? Squirrels make tasty owl bites. Explosives. Not near my roof, I fear. Call animal pests and get them decent. I suppose that's one way to go. Shiny red flag is here. Hello, shiny red flag. I haven't got my shiny red flag, but I shall wave it. Okay, so yes, if they're grey is classed as small vermin, so I can blast it off my roof with a shotgun. I'm going to see if somebody's got an air rifle then. That actually doesn't sound fun. But Mad Monk 7 says another common method of getting rid of squirrels is to place disturbing scent in the space they've claimed. Mothballs, ammonia, and apple cider vinegar. Okay, well I'll give that one a try. I tried some mint, because I heard that they didn't like that, but I don't know if it's strong enough for them to do it, or maybe they like peppermints. Sticky rat trap paper, disposal maybe a bit. Simple lasers, plasma rapid wheel rail guns. Learn the Manman says a few squirrels have got into the boat over the time, and Gaia Cat has chased them off. To be honest, though, shooting them and eating them. They taste good. Ah dear. Not ammonia though; it attracts Stargoids. Bigger problems if they move it. Yeah. Maybe I could basically negotiate with them and become their leader. Maybe that would work. Or throw nuts at the neighbour's house to attract the squirrels elsewhere. That's a cunning plan. I've got a neighbour that I don't particularly like across the road, so that's quite good. Or just send them a bill for some arcs. Now stop it. We're not going to do that, are we? We're going to behave ourselves, because Big Boo's going to get upset with me if. He's going to be upset with me anyway. He's going to be more upset with me if we go down that route too long. Right. Now we have got a bunch of stuff to do, and I did want some advice on the game actually, because there's one thing I do want to do before I hang up my hat. I know it's very sad, and I will be back, but I'm just not sure when. But yeah, let's get on with the things that we've got to do, because there's been some Galnet stuff going on in the meantime. So let's nuke them in orbit. It is the only way to be sure, isn't it? Let's get on with. We've got some Galnet to catch up on, because I haven't been streaming Elite for a few weeks. So let's do the Galnet thing. Right, it's time. Brace yourselves, my friends. So I didn't tell you to brace before, did I? I do apologise. Do they still do? Well, there's been some Galnet since the last time I looked, so I think there's a little bit to catch up on. I shall get through it as quickly as we possibly can, though, because I do want to spend some time in the game too. Are you ready, my friends? Brace, because it's one of those cutscene things coming up, which I spent an awful lot of not very much quality time on. Right, here we go. Brace. Right, That's enough of that. Right. Right. I need to do something here. Uh, don't click on that link. I've got no idea whether that website actually exists or not. It probably does, and it's probably not what we think it is. So. Just be careful of that. Right, what's been going on our lovely Galnet? Slightly disappointed you didn't buy the domain. I should have done. Yeah, dear. Yeah, I can't recommend clicking on that link. I've got no idea where it goes. So let's not do that. Right, so this is what's happened recently. So the Titan Oya deployed a surprise fleet of Orthrus vessels, which is different to what they were doing before. This is presumably wanted Lofis off to buy the domain. We were doing rather well against the Titan Oya. Now this is probably slightly old news now, obviously. Basically, some stuff was happening, and it was doing something slightly different in defence, which makes sense because the Thargoids must have noticed, right, that two of their things have been blown up, right? So it would only be reasonable for the Thargoids to respond slightly differently. So I think we can skip that one because that's going to be... this one's more interesting. Okay, so this is the new supercruise overcharged module enters the market, a turning point for humanity. Okay. So Achilles Aerospace have begun mass distribution of their own frameshift drive modules. Now I do want to check this thing out because I haven't tried it yet. Capable of what their marketing is calling an overcharged supercruise. This news follows the corporation urging pilots to gather Titan drive components from the dangerous remnants of destroyed Titans. The data gathered from the components seems to have been the catalyst to finalise what were previously only theoretical designs. The new modules are capable of incredible speeds, maybe even ludicrous speeds. They've gone to plaid. Much like the Titans themselves. Well, the Titans weren't going all that fast, actually. So this bit doesn't really make sense in the lore because if you remember back to what they were dubbed Stargoids at the time. They were travelling through space at many times the speed of light, but not that many times the speed of light, right? It was actually way slower than supercruise can actually go. So anyway, random bit of lore there, you know. Let's try and keep everything in-game correct. Oh wait, the power of this new frameshift drive does, however, put immense pressure on a ship when used. In a speech at the private launch event for the module held at Achilles headquarters, Achilles Aerospace chairman Maxine Petros said, as of right now, our new modules have been distributed across the galaxy. They've got one hell of a distribution network, I'll give them that. Did they use the new frameshift drive to distribute the new frameshift drives? There's a question that needs answering. And we fully expect that this will not only be a turning point in history for Achilles, but for the whole of humanity. We have truly revolutionised supercruise, and with this leap, we'll take another step out from under the Thargoids' technological shadow. Thank you, Achilles Engine. Now that does seem slightly hyped up, right? It's a turning point for the whole of humanity. Yeah, I don't think it is, actually. Okay, there's a slightly faster spaceship. Yeah. Everybody who what about all those people who live on the planets who never go into space? What all those people who've got dead end jobs in the Federation, just cooking burgers in some sort of dead end township? It's not going to revolutionise their world, is it? So maybe is that just Achilles Aerospace super hyping themselves, and presumably Sirius. Will downplay it and say, nah, that's no good. You want to buy our normal things. What spokesman from a company overhyping things? I know, it's outrageous, isn't it? What kind of behaviour is that? Right, so that was that one. So I do want to try that. Actually, I haven't tried that. So I don't know how difficult it is for me to go and get one. Maybe you guys can tell me. But we'll find out. Then there was the 19th. Which basically says, Anti-Guardian Field Project yields breakthrough, new modifications available. So this is a Pilots Federation alert, so there's some new actual stuff going on. The engineer Ramtars discovered a method of immunising existing Guardian models against effective anti-Guardian fields. So earlier this year, Ramtar discovered that certain Guardian relics revealed activated nanite clusters when exposed to specific electromagnetic frequencies. i.e. radio waves. These nanites proved disruptive to Thargoid technology on a molecular level, and importantly were entirely unaffected by anti-Guardian fields, unlike other Guardian technology. In an urgent press conference, Aegis leadership announced a breakthrough in researching that latter quality. The following statement was given by Professor Albert Tresrow. Our knowledge of the Thargoids' ancient adversary, the Guardians, is still so very limited, and yet Guardian technology has once again paved a way forward for humanity. We urge pilots to use the modifications we are producing to utilise any powerful Guardian modules in their possession. Use them to push back against the Thargoid threat. Use them to win this war. It's very purple prose, isn't it? A bit Churchillian even. Aegis went on to announce these modifications can now be made at Ramtar's workshop in the Mean system. Okay, so you can basically stop your Guardian modules from being anti-Guardianed by the Thargoids. That's good. And finally, Thargoid War Bulletin. Aya successfully attacked. So Titan Oya in the sci-fi sector, has been confirmed as destroyed by Aegis, leaving 5 still operational, 5 Titans, that is. Aidan Tanner, Aegis's head anti-Xeno strategist, delivered a cautionary statement. I must remind all commanders that these missions are highly dangerous. Really? And cannot be undertaken lightly. No, definitely not. Yeah, you wouldn't go into a war with an alien race lightly, would you? Entering a maelstrom and flying close to a Titan requires your ship to be outfitted with caustic sync launchers and Thargoid pulse neutralizers. I think we probably all know that by now. AX weaponry will also prove useful, as will Guardian nanite torpedoes to attack the Titan's thermal vents. So it seems just to be reminding us of stuff we already know. Be warned that your combat skills will be tested. Counterattacks by Thargoid vessels become more frequent as the Titans take damage, and the mothership's own turrets are deployed more aggressively. I would like to see veteran anti-Xeno pilots passing on their knowledge to less experienced pilots to prevent unnecessary risks. Well, excellent advice there from Aidan Tanner. Apparently, he was the lead anti-Xeno strategist, so he's only basically just got round to giving us some basic advice. Thank you, Mr. Tanner. It's just awesome. Right, well, there we go. So anyway, well done to all the AX pilots and other people involved who have gone and given the Titan Oya a good kicking. That's good. That's right, Big Boo says. Warning, wars are unsafe. That's right. It's there might even be tears, It's going to be pretty bad. I ought to moderate the ARC's comments in the chat, but I'm not going to. I will for an extra fee, of course. No, stop it. Behave yourself. Right, that's enough of that. So, send in the squirrels. Yeah. Maybe we could contact the Great Squirrelian Empire and get them to fight on our behalf. That would wipe out the Thargoids within minutes. Never mind. So, right, it is time for a little bit of community comms. We must mention the thing briefly, and I'll try and be as serious as I can. So here we go. Right, brace once more, my friends, for the final time for some community comms. Here we go. Right, that's enough of that. So this is a bit of a thing, isn't it? Is it pay to win? Isn't it pay to win? I must admit, my initial reaction to this was I wasn't really surprised, but then I thought about what it's implying, and I kind of went, that's not very good, is it? Come on, what are you doing? And then I was trying to figure out what the hell are they trying to actually do here. So in summary, what we've got is you can pay for access to the Python Mark II 3 months in advance. Presumably, you have to still buy it for in-game credits once you've effectively paid to unlock it. I suppose that's what it is. So that's the first bit. Now that bit is kind of like early access to beta stuff, isn't it? Which is, I don't particularly like that. But if you want to pay your money, then and get access to something early, then fair enough. Well, the rest of us will probably wait until August, whenever it comes out. So that bit, I'm kind of like, well, didn't they do that with Odyssey, that you had to pay to get beta access or alpha access? Because I don't think we had a beta, did we? I think the alpha was a chargeable thing for Odyssey, as I recall. Somebody may remember. So that's something. The second bit was a bit more disturbing, I think, because it was sort of like, we acknowledge we want players to have access to the cool stuff faster, right? Which is sort of AX stuff and maybe some PvP and maybe some mining. I think those are the two builds that have been shown up. You did pay for the alpha, that was right. Yeah, I do remember that. So yeah, I'm a bit more relaxed about the Python Mark II thing. But the idea of buying a ship that's been pre-built and pre-engineered, because the grind to get that thing is prohibitive, is definitely thin ice as far as I'm concerned. Because what they're basically saying is, yeah, you're right, Frontier, you're right, community, the grind is a bit excessive. And tell you what, rather than fixing the grind, what we'll do is pay us some money and you can shortcut it. Or at least if you're a new player and you don't really want to do that grindy stuff, then give us some cash and here's a ship that will get you going. So I think it's a bit dodge. Will it will I pay ARX for a blue scroll? So I think it's difficult because on one hand it's like, well, let's not overreact because it's not very much money. It's not like certain other games I can mention that actually charge you very, very large amounts of money for spaceships. This is quite a low amount of money, but it is basically skip the grind for some cash, which is a bit like a mobile game, isn't it? It's kind of like, oh, have an extra diamond, or here's some jewels that you can trade in so you can get past this level much easier. It's kind of that. Now, I don't think us sort of veteran players, I don't think it's going to impact us very much because we know how to do the grind if we want to do it. And to be fair, most of us have probably done it already and we've got the ships that we want to have. So it's kind of only looking at it kind of, to me, it only feels like it's a new player thing, because why would any of us buy one of these ships? Because we probably already got one, right? So I don't quite understand that. And then the cost of it, it's like, okay, so it's about 10 quid, I think we worked out in the Discord, plus or minus a bit, depending on how you buy your ARX. Okay, so it's not a huge amount of money, so how many players are likely to buy one of these things? I mean, let's say 2, 3, 4,000 players. It's only going to be 20, 30, 40,000 pounds in revenue, which to you and me that would be quite a chunk of money, but to Frontier, that's not even half a dev for half a year. So it's not very much money. So I'm kind of wondering why they're bothering to do it. Is it just a monetization thing? Are they testing the waters to see how we react to the idea? Are they just saying, let's burn all our goodwill that we've accumulated over the last 3 months in one fell swoop? What are they trying to do? I don't get it. Could they be testing the water? The problem with this is if they're testing the waters and it's okay, then the temptation is for them to do it again, right, for other things. And then the temptation is that, well, let's tweak the grind and make it a little bit harder so we can sell more shortcuts, right? That's the danger. So I get the slippery slope thing that a few people have been saying. It's also a bit suspicious that it kind of ends up, Frontiers, they did this with Odyssey, right? And this is the bit that I'm a bit suspicious of. They did this with Odyssey in the sense that their financial year runs to, for reasons that aren't entirely clear, runs to, I think, the end of June or July, in the middle of the calendar year. So the pay, I don't want to call it pay to win, but you know what I mean. This thing coincides with the end of this financial year for them. So that is a bit, that smacks of a little bit. Let's see if we can grab some cash before the end of the year. And I don't like that. I didn't like it last time. It's one of the reasons that I was a bit miffed with them. Well, one of the big reasons I was a bit miffed with them over Odyssey. It's the end of May, is it? Okay, so maybe they can sneak some stuff in there. So it sort of straddles that period of time there. So that's a bit of a thing. But it's not going to be that much money. So is it really worth potentially alienating the community over a few tens of thousands of pounds? It seems a bit weird. I get the flip side. Which a few of you have talked to me about as well, which is, okay, so us veteran players, we bought our copies of the game a long time ago. We may or may not have bought some arcs and some cosmetics in the meantime, and so we're playing this game still, and we're not contributing anything to Frontier's coffers in the interim. So have we had our 10 years value out of the game? I'm sure we probably have, right? And I get that Frontier is a business and has to have money to keep going. Now, we can argue left, right, and centre about, should they have done things differently? And yes, they should. But it's we are where we are, which is the sort of conversation we're having at the beginning of January, weren't they? So, what can we do to help Frontier out of a hole? And I'm not sure this is quite what we expected. I think one of our suggestions early on in this stream was, about the ideas we could help to get Elite Dangerous off the ground. I think we did say monetize things, but I don't think we ever said monetize ships. Or is it just to kickstart a whole bunch of new players and say, come on in and have some stuff? Just because at the end of the day that sells copies of the game and so on and so forth. And Ugly Spirit says lowering the price of the base game and then more than halving the price of Odyssey points towards the eventual free play model we're paid with. Maybe it is. So is it all my fault? Of course it is. It's always my fault. So I don't know. I'd love to see the strategy that they're trying to pay out here, because I don't understand. Monetarily, it doesn't look very lucrative to me. As a long-term strategy, you're sort of burning a bit more of the goodwill of the traditional stroke, established stroke, old school stroke, forum dad, goodwill that maybe had been a bit resurgent this year because of some of the other cool stuff that had come along. So what and they did say back in 2019, and I appreciate that, that's now 5 years ago, at one of the LaveCons, I think, somebody dug it up, that they would never ever use ARCs to do pay to win. It would only ever be cosmetics. So they actually reneged on that from 2019. Now that's 5 years down the road, and Frontier's a very different company now than it was in 2019. And how long is a company obliged to keep a promise of something that it said? I don't know the answer to that question. And the lifetime expansion pass is a whole other kettle of fish, right? It's like, I'm not getting into that one either. So and that's about all I've got to say on it, really. I did watch Obsidian Ant's video on it, and I did watch Yamek's video on it, and because I find Yamek's quite amusing. I don't always take him very seriously, but I do find him quite amusing at times. And he was actually, I thought, really quite measured for Yamix. So it's worth watching his latest video actually on the subject. It's quite good. And obviously the Burr Pit had put something out about it as well. And the Burr Pit's probably the most enthusiastic about it, followed by Obsidian Ant, followed by Yamix, as you would normally expect. But they've all got perspectives on it, which I think are valid. And I would say I've definitely had my money's worth out of it in over 10 years. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it depends how you count up how much have you spent on Elite Dangerous, but regardless, I think I've had it's had a good run. So from that perspective, I get that. I'd much rather Frontier fix the game and made us buy new DLCs, of course, and maybe listen to the community about what they wanted in the DLC. But that ship that ship has left the dock. So I think it's an odd move, and I don't think it's a very wise one. That would be my my takeaway from it. I don't know where that was going. An odd move. I feel like it's burnt quite a lot of the goodwill they've built up over the last few months, and in exchange for not very much. So I'd love to know what their strategy is and what. The thing that occurs to me, which I did observe on my Discord, which some of you will have read, the one thing, if Elite is anything. Right. I mean, what is Elite? Exactly right. But if you're going back to brass tacks, what is Elite? The whole concept of Elite at the beginning was you start off with a rubbish ship, right? And you upgrade your ship and you get good and you get things, and then stuff starts to happen. That is Elite, right? If there's a fundamental beating heart to Elite, that is what it is. And this basically stops that. This is like playing the original Elite and saying, if you buy the original Elite, an extra £5, we'll give you a completely fitted out ship. Just like you've just skipped most of the game as far as far as I can work out. So, and all we really wanted was the grind back door. I was just saying this on Twitter to Scorpius, I think, earlier on. It's like, all you need to do is like increase the spawn rate of the materials and allow all the things to be traded. So we can just do what we want quite quickly. I don't mind having the materials so much. But having to wait for RNG to spawn a particular material in a particular place and have 10 of them, which you can only get one way. We have to do something to get the material that you don't want to do. Like, you know, if you're an explorer, you have to do some combat and murder somebody in order to get a thing to do some exploration. That's just not right. Okay, that's an easy problem to solve. You don't need to pay to win to do it. So anyway, I'm sure wiser people and more experienced people have made these sort of points. So you assume they do have a strategy, yeah. Yeah, that is an assumption, but there you go. Anyway, well, that's enough about that, because I think it's probably been discussed to death everywhere. We don't want to waste too much. Yeah, just make everything tradable. It's just a currency, right? So just trade stuff. I've got 6 cat memes, and I want some glue. Can we do a swap? Yeah, sure, mate. No worries at all. What's the problem? I mean, it doesn't make any sense that you can't get some twisted copper wire from somewhere and exchange it, you know. So yeah, yeah. Anyway, I think there were much better solutions to that didn't involve asking people for money. So it is disappointing. I am disappointed, but I'm not surprised. I think that's way. So there we go. Right, onwards, my friend. Let us do. It's time to jump into the game, because I do want to find out about this new frame shift drive thingamajig, supercharged, overdrive, charge thing, whatever it's called. So let's go and investigate that. Right, I need to press the button. Are you braced? Here we go. Brace one more time. For the playthrough. Bum, bum, bum. Oh, I suppose. Yeah, sorry. Yes. You're quite right. Top shot, power play. Okay, discuss that very quickly. I actually got bored. I'm sorry. I was cooking dinner last night, and I had the we've got a little PC laptop in the kitchen, so I had the stream on while I was cooking, and there was something about farmyards, and there was something about Formula One, which I didn't really listen to, and then Power Play came on. I thought, I'll listen to this, and I'm afraid that after 3 minutes I was like, I have no idea what they're talking about. What did I cook? I cooked chicken chasseur last night. It was just, it was the worst possible way to do a presentation about a new feature. It's just 3 heads chatting about abstract concepts on the screen. That was not the way to do it. I was lost interest within minutes, I'm afraid. I did genuinely try to understand what was going on. It was meaningless, without any kind of visual guide. It was definitely chicken. It wasn't a squirrel, yeah. It was... I had no idea what they were talking about. I literally had no idea what they were talking about. I just... No, not for me. So yeah. I have no idea whether you guys think PowerPoint, Power Play 2 is any better than Power Play 1. But from my perspective, it was exactly the same stuff. It was like... that was it. So I don't know. That's all I've got to say about Power Play 2.0 at the moment. I was very unimpressed by the delivery of the presentation. I thought that was appallingly bad. You need to have some stuff to show us what it looks like. Yeah, it was no, basically. Unless there's a summary version that can be done in like 3 or 4 minutes, I'm afraid it's not for me. So there we go. Right. Anyway, onwards we go. So that was Power Play 2.0. So I don't think that's going to help anybody. But there we go. Right. Time for the playthrough, my friends. Are we ready? Let's get into the game and see what's on. Ta-da! Right. We're back. Yeah, abstract play was not sufficiently braced. Right, Big Boo. The nearest FSD SCO. What does SCO stand for, by the way? Is Venge Ring in I'm just going to clip that because I don't think I'm going to remember how to spell that. let's do that. Right, I'm just going to leave that down there. Right, supercruise. Oh, that's what it stands for. Supercruise overcharge or supercruise overdrive. Right, let's go and do that first. Now, do I? Is this an extra module that I add to my existing supercruise? So do I need to have space in my ship? Oh, it's instead. Right. Okay. Okay. So let me. At the moment, I'm here with the crew in wherever we are, Chamberlain's Rest. So it's a new drive. Okay. So okay. Let's go and get my ship then. So we're going to go to Venge Ring in Bakaduninka. I don't. Sounds like a Kate Babushka. Who does that? Kate. What's her face? Take away of fixing your ships. It's only available for C class. Okay, so everyone's using the lift, so I can't use them. Oh, this is so British. I've got to wait for a lift. Right, Kate Bush. There we go. Badinka, 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 baya. That's where we're going. Yeah, Kate Bush. Right. You'll lose some jump. Yeah. So okay. So actually, I've got a decent FSD. So in fact, all I'm going to do. This is my exploration ship. So it allows me to get there nice and quick. I think I'll just go and have a quick muck about with this new drive rather than actually equip it permanently. But I just wanted to try it out because I wanted to see what it could do. How do I get into my ship? So this is my long-range exploration-focused Crate Phantom, and as a result, that would be a massive downgrade. But I just want to try it in orbit because I think I'm right in thinking. I mean, I don't know if we can take any credit for this, but didn't we come up with the idea of making supercruise a bit faster on this stream earlier this year? I think we did. I don't know whether we can take any credit for this, but I'm going to take some credit for it anyways. Guys, we did a good thing here. At least something happened. It was definitely on the list, wasn't it? So you never know. I mean, does Frontier watch this stream? Maybe they do. Maybe they pinched our ideas. They pinched my hyperdrive floor, so they might as well pinch some of our other stuff without saying. Reduce the grind was on the list as well. It was. Wasn't it? We kind of got onto that. So anyway, so we're going to Venge Ring in Bakaduni. Can you type that into the chat again, Big Boo? Because it was on the list just above pre-engineered. Did we ever come up with pre-engineered ships? I don't think we came up with that idea. I'm not taking credit for that one. We'll get lynched. Right, I'm going to launch.
Landing coupler disengaged. Make way for oncoming traffic.
Right, so this is where we're going to be doing our hyperspace jump from, because I thought it was actually quite a nice sort of picturesque sort of a place. Right, so we're going to... I cannot pronounce this place at all. Bakadunad. Why is everything so hard to... I'm going to just type it in. Here we go. Bakaduninka. There we go. Right, which is one jump away. So that's cool. That's where we're going. Okay. So I can't pronounce it, but that's where we're going. And then we're going to Venge Ring when we get there.
Cannot comply. Landing gear retracted.
Oh no.
Frameshift drive charging.
Frameshift my way out of here first. Yeah, it's it's that unwarranted sense of self-importance. It is. It strikes once again, my friend. Sorry about that. It sounds like something you get after carry. Yeah, Venge Ring.
4, 3, 2.
That sort of curry that's called a double burner, isn't it? Those type of curries. Gotta be careful with them. Is this the Badinka Choo Choo? I think it is. It's a Kate Bush song for the 34th century. That's what it is. Look at all that little hollow things as commands get in. Now, we will be doing a mass hyperspace jump at the end of the stream because that's the thing, and we'll do it to I'm pointing in the wrong direction. We'll do it to a reasonably well-known theme tune as well. Now, hopefully, most of you know how to do this. So, but if you don't know how to do this, here's what needs to happen for the mass hyperspace jump: is we have to get into the same instance as much as possible, right? Now we'll do that by winging up in groups and then dropping the wings and trying to get into whatever instance I end up in. Over a period of time, and then basically we all fly along, and we're going to try and do it in the atmosphere this time, which could be very disruptive to the planet, but hey, that's their problem, right? And hyperspace, from ground zero as much as we can, just because we haven't done that before. At least I haven't done that before. I've been told that other commanders have indeed done it. I thought maybe it would be a first, but it's not. I believe Commander Burr has done such a thing already. So it's not going to be a first, but it's going to be something that I haven't done before, so I think that'll be quite fun. So we're going to do a mass hyperspace jump from the surface of a planet in an atmosphere, hopefully not set fire to the entire atmosphere. Right, so where am I going? I'm going to Venge Ring, wherever that is. Where is that? Venge Ring, there it is. A mere 7 light seconds away, so it won't take long to get there. Good stuff. Oh look, the wedding barge is out. Yeah, I'd like to think that the 30th is hyperspacing in. I mean, it ought to have some impact. I mean, a single ship suddenly jumping into hyperspace should leave quite a big hole in the atmosphere. You should make some pretty large thunderclaps, if nothing else. And certainly a lot of ships. So we'll see how many people we can get into the same instance as well. Am I in the top 1% of all Wagars out there? Actually, I suspect I probably am, because as far as I'm aware, and I have odd enough, because I have looked on the internet a couple of times in the past, I am now, as far as I'm aware, the only Drew Wagar on the internet. I wasn't a few years ago. Now there's a funny story about that, you'll be surprised to know, because once I was working at my previous company about 10 years ago now, maybe a bit longer, and I went on holiday to America. And when I came back to work, there was a few people who basically said, "Oh, thank God you're actually alive." I was like, "Pardon?" So, when you were away, and we didn't hear from you because I usually I'm out of contact with them all day. Apparently, the internet was awash with the murder of Drew Wagar, and it wasn't all that far away from where I was, right? In the States, and it turned out there was another Drew Wagar out there who did actually get murdered. I hesitate to say I had no. I didn't know Drew Wagar. I don't even know if who he was or who she was, because it's one of those names. I suppose I want to request docking clearance.
Access authorized.
So initially it was like, yay, Drew's actually alive, he hasn't been murdered. And then it was all like, hang on a minute, Drew was in the same place as this other Drew. So what's going on here then? Did Drew go out and murder his other one? To make sure he's the only Drew Wagar with the entire planet. I can assure you I didn't, but it was all a bit weird. It was a bit weird. So yeah, so there was another Drew Wagar in the world, but sadly, they no longer exist. As far as I'm aware, I am the only one left. There can be only one, in fact.
Ship is on the ground. Perform landing checklist. You are most welcome, Commander.
So yeah, a bit weird that. It was very, very suspicious indeed. Was it Nancy Drew Wagar though? It's a new book. That's not a bad idea. Yeah. So Okay, so hang on. There's a technical comment here from Commander Terrakov. It says it might be difficult to synchronise in the jump from the surface. Need to be 2 kilometres up to initiate the jump, and the acceleration difference from the surface will spread out the formation. Okay, so we need to be a couple of kilometres up. Last time Fdev ever hired that hit, man. Yeah, they totally missed it there. Frontier took out the wrong guy. That's why I'm. Yeah, that's it. Highlight, you rumbled me, Frank. That's why I'm going to Scotland, because there can be only one. Right, starport. So what do I do here? Do I store my existing frameshift drive or something? Outfitting, isn't it? But am I? Yeah, I was going to say, am I really the Drew Wagar? You think you are? Or am I just a copy? Am I an instantiation of Drew Wagar? I'm just a pointer to another Drew Wagar who's over there somewhere. Right, so my core internal. So what do I do here? So I've got a class 5. Can't say it now. A class 5 engineered frameshift drive, which obviously I don't want to lose. Is that what I need to store? I'm a replicant, yeah, to pass that test with the thingy. So do I store this? Store module. Right. Okay, so now I've got a 5E frameshift drive. Right. Then I want to browse through the modules. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so there's the SCO drive. A faster than light capable drive featuring experimental overcharged capabilities necessary for supercruise travel and hyperspace jumps between star systems. Okay, so let's buy one of those then. Is that the only one available? So it's a C-class drive. So okay, so it's actually cut my jump range in half. So that's of no use to explorers at all, compared to my big chunky drive. It will break my ship, will it? Okay, so hang on. I've already got a power problem here because everything has gone up by a lot, actually. How much has that gone up by? Just let's go back to there for a moment. Oh, that's not so bad. So what's that? Oh, I've forgotten how this works. This might. If we're going to explore anything along the way, jumping short. Yeah, I suppose that's true. Buy some heat sinks and then some more heat sinks. Okay, I haven't even got anything on here. Can we get heat sinks? What does it? It generates a lot of stuff. Yeah, the Malayan man. That is in fact actually what happened. I confronted him and absorbed all his powers. The hat is actually where I store. There's an energy sphere of orbness underneath. An extra fuel. Okay. Okay, so let's whack a couple of heat sinks on here. Okay. So I'm going to have to do some energy management. Where do I put an extra fuel tank? Can I do that? I've got my Guardian frameshift drive booster. I haven't got any space for a fuel tank. Do I need a fuel tank? Fuel tank is nice but not necessary. Okay, let's leave that alone. So okay, so I've got this new funky doody frameshift drive. Let's assign the heat sinks to a fire group. 1, 2. Okay. Right. So, is there a keybind I need to set for it? How do I activate it? Oh, the more fuel you have. Oh, what is it? The normal boost. So space is how I think I've set it. So you. Okay, so it's boost, but in supercruise. Okay, boost button. Right. Okay. Well, let's see what it does then. Is it going to be revolutionary? Is it going to change the entire course of humanity? Fire up and wait for the explosion. So, okay, so this ship generally runs fairly cool. I have got a fuel scoop. Okay, so I'm going to launch. Set max frame rate to 30 frames. I heard about what's this business with the frame rate? There's something about the maths is wrong.
Landing gear retracted.
So if you run your system at a lower frame rate, it it doesn't heat up as fast or goes quicker or something. Very, very, very bad piece of coding. Right, so presumably I need to just get out of the normal master range. Fdev got the calculation wrong. Apparently it adds heat per frame rather than per time period. Oops. You would have thought. Yeah. I don't know, what does that say? What does that tell us? Right, let's see where we can go. Let's stay in system. Let's have a look at the system map. Where should we try and get to? So we're around it. Let's see how long it takes to get. Where's this? Is there a nice planet? There's not really a nice planet in the system, is there? Let's just go. Can't even land on that one. None of these have atmosphere though. It's actually a really dull system, isn't it? Let's just go to this planet here, which is 12,000 light seconds away. So that's a bit of a journey. Okay, so I'm going to frame shift there and see how it goes. We're going to bada dinka dooga dooga digga 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 6. Okay, that's where we're going to go. Right. Even with a fuel scoop, we can send you. Right, so I've got a fuel tank of fuel. Let's punch it, Chewie. Here we go. Right, I can engage frame shift drive. Okay, so this is same as ever. Yeah. So it's very nice for getting up from a planet's surface. So that sounds like actually quite a useful thing, because that was always the like, oh, come on. But it's no use if it doesn't allow you to retain your jump ranges.
4, 3,
Right.
2, 1, engage.
Okay, so this is the normal thing. We are accelerating, but not particularly quickly. So now I hit space, right? Boost.
Warning, range drive operating beyond safety limits.
Oh, hang on. Whoa, it moves. Okay, so you have to actually fly the damn thing.
Warning, temperature critical.
Oh, switch it off again. Jesus. It's like a proper boost. Okay, well that's... How fast am I going? I mean, I'm already at 400. It really moves fast, doesn't it? Well, like, I'm literally there. In fact, I'm overshooting. And it's burnt. That was good. I like that. Extreme. Well, yeah. I didn't even see. It was going so fast that I didn't even see that. Okay, let's throttle back down again. Let's see how quick we can get back into system. Drew's found the turbo button. Yeah, and it was like he actually had to fly the ship as well. He couldn't just leave it. It was you had to actually fly the ship, didn't you? But it has burnt up a lot of fuel. Okay, now where's the star? This would be really good for going to visit things like the Viking, the Viking probe, not the Viking probes, the Voyager probes, wouldn't it? Because that takes ages otherwise. Right, that's the star. It's like 13,000 light seconds away. So let's see. Okay, so engage. Oh, that wasn't supercruise. Don't. Yeah, I got to Voyager 1, Voyager 2 very quickly, said Big Boo. You probably wouldn't have the fuel. I suppose you just use it for speeding up. Okay, so I'm just going to point it out into space for a bit. Let's see.
Drive charging.
Let's see how fast it goes.
Ready to engage. 4, 3, 2, 1, engage.
Okay, so that increased space time. So accelerating it, that's going up nice and fast. But let's really engage it now. Boom.
Warning, range drive operating beyond
Whoa,
safety
God,
limits.
it really accelerates, doesn't it? Look at that. How fast will it go?
Warning, temperature critical. Warning, taking heat damage.
Whoops, there. cut that off. My heat sinks didn't sink for a reason. There we go. Okay, let's try that again. Oh, it's burnt up. Look at that. It's burnt up half of my fuel already. That's insane. Okay, so it's got limited utility. I think Achilles Aerospace could do with tweaking this a little bit. I mean, it's the performance is pretty impressive, right? Overshot by 18,000 light seconds. Okay, it can go faster than 400. Fuel half gone. Yeah, that's mad, isn't it? So let's try and keep it on.
Warning, frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits.
Doesn't look at it burning the fuel. It's worse than my MX-5. Definitely gets you up to speed quickly there, doesn't it? Wow. Okay, so it's like stupidly heavy on fuel. That is pretty insane, I have to say. It's cool, but it's like the fuel cost. Whoa. That needs to be about 10 times as efficient, I think, to make that kind of viable. But I mean, it's fun. But, wow. So how does that scale with different ship sizes then? Are smaller ships better because they're lighter? It's addictive, though, isn't it?
Frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits.
So can you outrun an interdiction with that? If you're against a ship that doesn't have one? Oh, questions. That's actually pretty good. I quite like that. I don't want to keep it on my ship because I think that would be totally pointless. But that's a nice piece of tech, isn't it? I like that. I do like it. So yeah. So I guess. Yeah, you're not getting to Hutton the cover. I don't know how much difference it will make to that sort of thing. Oh, I've done it again. Given it's a prototype, I suppose lore-wise we can expect different versions of that to come along, which will make that more effective and probably less costly over time. So you can see where they're going with it. They'll probably have put a really knackered, not good version of it out first, just to kind of get you into the mood of using this sort of thing, and then it will be more generally, there'll be different versions, presumably different sizes, different efficiencies, and maybe the options to engineer it and stuff like that. So I think it's it's definitely cool. I like it. That's exactly the sort of thing I like to have in my cars. It's like put your foot down, it all goes completely mad. I think there's some work to be done on stability there though, because my MX-5 doesn't go. Yeah, the fuel gauge goes down like that, to be fair, but it doesn't squirm all over the road. It is. It's more like nitro in nozzle in your engine, isn't it? Danger to manifold, and all that stuff. And it knackers your ship as well. The heat there. Well, heat I think isn't a bad mechanic actually, because that is a problem. If you do boost your car, for those of you who know like your automotive analogies, if you do boost your car, turbo or supercharger or anything like that, the danger is that you whack too much oxygen into your engine, and there isn't enough fuel to go along with it, and that leads to what's known as a lean engine condition, which will very, very, very quickly blow up your car. You don't want to do that. So yeah, actually, it's quite a nice analogy actually. That you switch that stuff on for too long, it blows your ship up. I'm okay with that. I think it's quite a nice thing. What I want though is the ability to have that, but not compromise my frame shift that I've already got. So I want that to be an add-on module that goes on top of my existing frame shift drive, like a supercharger or a turbocharger or a nitrogen nozzle, as opposed to a replacement one. As it stands at the moment, it feels a bit like a quest looking.
Access authorized.
It feels like a bit like you've got your Volkswagen Golf and you've just taken the engine out of a Formula One car and whacked it in instead of your normal engine. So you, yeah, okay, yeah, it's very impressive in a straight line, but it doesn't last very long. It blows up your ship, and it's not all that practical for going to the shops in. So yeah, it's got potential, isn't it? I think it's a nice thing that they've added there. I really like that. That's the sort of thing. Yeah, again, Fdev, if you are listening. That is exactly the sort of stuff that we do want to see, not the other stuff that we don't want to see. Okay. that was fun. I haven't done anything so fun like that actually in Elite for a long time. That was really good because it just was like hang on to your joystick. It was just really good. You do blow up if you keep going. Excellent. Well, that's exactly right. Yeah, you put your foot down to get out or something like that. My maths teacher years ago had a Porsche 944 with a Golf GTI engine in it. That's the wrong way around. Yeah, so that is cool. I did enjoy it. Look, I've damaged my ship as well. So yeah, well, that was good. I enjoyed that. Yeah, I like the fact it's got to be fair, you're quite right. I think it does need constraints. So if you're going to have a capability, I'd like a little bit less capability there. Just a little, far less boost. 10% of that boost would probably be enough, right? Less of the side effects. It'd be quite fun to have a sliding scale of those sort of things. But that was good. Well done, Frontier. That was fun. That was good. I thought that's. I have no complaints over that at all. It's stupid, but it's great fun. So yeah, let's see some more things like that. You could definitely add some more stuff in like that. Right, I don't need these things anymore because I'm not going to melt my ship in the future. I'm glad I tried that though. That was good. Right, core internal. So let's sell that. Oh, no, replace module. I want to get that one back. Thank you. Much better module, that one. I'm going to miss the boost though. NX Diamond, you are correct. There is a Golf out there that had a, I think a Porsche 911 Turbo actually from the sort of 80s, shoehorned into it, and they had to widen the Golf in order to get all the running gear in. So that's the thing. So okay, so what's about the Type 8 then? Is that a new ship? I must have missed that part of the stream. We fell asleep during the power play bit. It is great for escaping gravity world. That's it. Yeah. So yeah, no, I remember NX Time, and I remember seeing that. I remember reading about it at the time. Very famous car actually. So the Type 8 remains unexplained as a running joke. Okay, that's rumoured to be the next one. Okay, it's been teased, has it? Ships that we know nothing about. No sign of the ship that must not be named, presumably. Which is another thing that we mustn't mention because it's just bad luck. Okay, right. Now we are going to head back. Now we got a bit of time to do this, but we need to get as many people in to the thing as we possibly can. So we're going to go back to HIP 97950 and back to Chamberlain's Rest Starport. So we can do this jump and get ourselves all organised. Give ourselves some time to do it. So if anybody's already there, do you want to invite me to a wing and we'll get the initial instance set up and then we'll do the thing to get everybody else in bit by bit, because it's going to take a bit of time to do, right, as we know.
Landing restraints lifted. Exit the station quickly and safely.
Panther Clipper is sold at Braxley. It probably is, yeah.
Landing gear retracted.
Oh, I'm going to miss that boost now. I want that. That's like having taken the supercharger belt off my car. It's going to be very dull by comparison. Oh dear, well, I can't have everything. Right, everybody back to HIP 97950, so we can have a little bit of fun doing this super duper hyperspace jump we're going to do.
Frameshift drive Charging.
I suppose I'll have to scan the system just because.
Clear of the station. Have a safe journey.
4, 3.
So I suppose with upcoming things, we've still got power play coming. We've got 4 new ships, one of which is the Python Mark II coming, and there's still another feature which they haven't told us about. Is that true? Am I right in still saying that? So when I get back to streaming, there's going to be new ships, there's going to be new features, there's going to be power play, which I could avoid again.
Fuel scooping. Fuel scooping.
It's going to be different. Maybe I'll have to buy a whole bunch of ships by the time I come back. We'll have to wait and see. Hopefully not. Right now, there's a billion. Why this? I suppose it makes sense that there's a whole bunch of fleet carriers here as well. Where am I going? Why isn't it in alphabetical order? Where is it? Oh, Chamberlain's Unrest. Haha, see what you did there, whoever that was. A fleet carrier called Chamberlain's Unrest. Very good. Very good indeed. Right, everybody head for Chamberlain's Rest then. Now, how is it going to be best to do this? How are we going to... Because I'm just thinking, can we... How high above the ground... We can frame shift quite high above the ground, can't we? So we probably need to be a few kilometres up from the thing, and then we'll fly down low. We just need to be just above the mass lock effect. I wonder, yeah, could base building be the feature? I'd like base building actually. Commander Salamander Drew, is there no chance of Elite Dangerous Premonition becoming an audio book? I'm guessing no, as it's been so long since release. It's got nothing to do with me, I'm afraid, Salamander. I would love to produce it. I asked Frontier for 3 years, from 2017 to 2020, whether or not, because I need their permission, because technically Premonition being commissioned by them, it's their IP, so I'm not allowed to do anything with it without their permission. And as a result, if they don't give me permission to produce it, there's nothing I can do. And for 3 years, I asked the question, and they didn't say yes, and they didn't say no. It was always, okay, we'll get back to you on that one, Drew. And then after 2020, they just didn't answer at all. So I don't have an answer. It's I suppose what you'd call in development hell at the moment, because I can't do anything about it despite being willing to do something about it, and Frontier just don't acknowledge. I don't think it even acknowledges it exists anymore. I don't know. Unfortunately, my hands are entirely tied. I have checked my contract, and there's nothing I can do about it without their permission. So it's stuck in limbo, alas, I'm afraid. Right, I've got a team invitation. Should have been paying attention to that. Commander Techeron, why not? Right, so let's get down. So I suggest we hang around the surface above Chamberlain's Rest. Techeron, do you want to invite some other people into the team? And then we'll get as many people in the instance as we can. I can see a whole bunch of players over there already, which is cool. So we'll set up the initial instance first. And then kind of go from there. Does anyone at Fdev even know what premonition even is? I suspect probably nowadays no, because other than David Braben, actually, everybody that I knew at Fdev has either left the company or sadly passed away, in the case of Michael Brooks. So there is nobody other than David Braben who as far as I'm aware, knows has any knowledge of any of that stuff at all. I've never heard it mentioned ever again. So yeah, I think, alas, it is now consigned to the annals of history, my friends. The only small thing I've got, Salamander, is that I have audio booked the first of my elite novels, which are kind of elite-like but not elite. So if you look me up under Audible, you'll find that, and that is an elite-like adventure, but it's not elite. So make of that what you will. This is quite a nice place. Yeah, I went back here because I thought it just looked like a nice place to kind of fly around and maybe do a nice hyperspace jump in a nice atmosphere. So imagine if those audiobooks were recorded and players could buy them for ARX. Now there's the thing. It's not pay to win, that's pay to be entertained. I think that's okay generally, isn't it? Right, okay, so I'm gonna hang out. Now at this altitude we're in the atmosphere, aren't we? And we're okay. So I've got Tekron, Cyberdami and Terakov. Now the way this works, guys, is that if you can see, so this is to all players basically. If you can see me, obviously you're in the right instance. You don't need to do anything, right? You don't need to do anything at all. Once you're in the instance, basically just stay put is the rule. If you're not in the instance, what we need to do is we need to, anybody who is in the instance, anybody who can see me, basically wing up with people who aren't in the instance. Those people then need to jump out and jump back in again, and with a bit of luck you'll end up in the right instance. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. So once Tekaron, Cyberdami and Terakov are here, and I can see Tekaron's in front of me, I can see Billy No Mates is here, who's not in my wing. As again, I see a bunch of ships already, which is really cool. So Tekaron and Cyberdami can now, Tekaron can, Cyberdami's not here yet. Tekaron, you can drop the wing with me and go and invite some other people into your wing, and we keep doing that until basically we can't do it anymore, or the servers go bang or something. So the more ships we have, the better. There's Commander Biff Boy as well, and we'll all form up as possible in a minute. So let's see as many people as we can. I can see there's dozens of commanders here already, which is nice to see. Now I just need to go and check my. I can see Commander Roy K North. I can see a Cobra Mark III. Oh, Commander Minsky. There we go. Commander Aussie's up there in a Cobra. Nice to see the old Cobras about. So there's ships building. So if you are if you can't see me, request a wing invite. You can either do that from me actually. So or any other people you can see who are in the right instance. So if you're in the instance, wing up with anybody who's requesting a wing invite. If that makes sense. And if you're on the chat as well, if you can announce that you're here, that will give people a chance to wing up. And then wing up with people who are here, frame shift drive out, frame shift drive back, and as you arrive, it hopefully will drop you to the right instance. Nordlander 42 says send a friend request to Nordlander if you need a wing in. So there we go. I've just seen somebody there. Right, invites to Commander Welsh Dragon. There we go. Okay, so Commander Welsh Dragon, give it a whirl. Man Monk's off to see. The ships are building. The team is building. And once we get to a certain amount, then what we can do is we can start organising ourselves into a convoy. I'm going to have, whilst we're doing that, I'm going to have a little bit of a look around, because we need a star. Now what I really want is a star that's one of these stars here that's kind of underneath the rings, so we can sort of, where's the sun by the way? Can we fly into the sunset? Because that's the way to do it, isn't it? There we go. In fact, we want a star that's generally in that direction over there, don't we? Command Urban Sparks. Let's see if I can get you in. I can see Commander Nordlander there. Let's invite you to the team. Oh, you're already in a team, so that's good. Urban. Oh, I did say Urban Sparks there for a moment, and it disappeared. Never quite understood. It just keeps updating. I did see you briefly there for a moment, Urban Sparks, and then you weren't there again. So this is a bit faffy, but just bear with it. We'll get as many people into that. There we go. Gotcha. With a bit of luck, you've received that. So hopefully you can get into. Got a pending friend request. There we go. Yeah, keep doing those as well if you need to. Right. So I'm going to have a look on the galactic map and see if I can figure out a star that's in the right direction. For us to do this, because we need a star that's pointing in the right part of the sky. So first things first, I don't know which direction we're even pointing yet, so let's see where that is. How far off are we? Okay, that's down there. Okay, so let's try. If that's down there, depends which way we're around, of course. Let's try going back to Bacaduna. Where's that? That might be the right distance. That's almost exactly the wrong direction. This is tricky finding it. It is the power play. Why have I got the power play map on? Let's do that. So if that's almost exactly the wrong direction, I need a star maybe down here. Let's try this one. How does that look? Oh, look at that. I found us a star. There we go. That's pretty good. Look, we can fly off into the sunset and then we're going to hyperspace to that star. It's only 9 light years away, so that should be in range of all of our drives. That's quite cool. That should do the job, shouldn't it? So, how many ships? We've got a decent selection of ships here. So let's keep doing that. Again, if your Urban Sparks is in, excellent. Okay, so basically at this point, okay, if you're in the instance, don't crash. don't do anything. Okay, we'll explain the next bit. As much as possible. Is there any? Okay, so again, if you want to in the chat, just spam the chat with people who aren't in the instance yet, and we'll see if we can invite you in. Okay, so Mad Monk Soft is here. Eridan Dundragon is here. Excellent. This is good. Looks like it's going quite well. Now let me just jump to the external camera, which is which button? I've forgotten how to do this. Is it F? What's the external camera? Is it F? No. There we go. E for external camera. External. That makes sense. Right. Enter free camera. There we go. So I should be able to. Okay, so that's the roll. How do I? There we go. I can steer that way. I can see all the ships beginning to form up. Excellent. Okay, so this is looking good. Nice. And that allows me to zoom out. There we go. Turn the HUD off so we can get some eye candy shots. Excellent. Okay, it's coming together. This is good. This is good. Yes, sorry. Quick reminder, if you want to try and join us, you need to be in the Drew Wagar private group as well. So that is definitely a thing. So the fleet is building. This is good. The destination system is HIP 79750. Invite Spaced Polecat. I do love the names. See if I can see you. Spaced Polecat. I can see John Baker there. Spaced Polecats. There we go. Right, I've invited you. So fingers crossed. Is one of those infamous MIDI tunes coming up? Oh, well, steady on. Can you paste the target system into chat, please, Drew? I can indeed. That's right. Okay. We'll do the target in the middle. I've got that on the screen as well. So I haven't moved. Yep. So that's where we're all rendezvousing. So once you're in, just stay put. Okay. This bit does take a bit of time to get working. So is there anybody else I need to add? Big Boo, are you in the system? Have you arrived yet? Oh, I've just lost Spaced Polecat from my target group there. Did that work? Are you here? Or are you not here? I do love this. This is one of my favourite things in Elite Dangerous. So we're just literally... yay, Big Boo's here. Leslie Graham says, I miss you, Drew. I am sorry about this. When I started streaming, it wasn't my intention to then just leave you all in the lurch, because I didn't expect to sell my house, because I just thought, it's not going to happen this year. And that was the thing. Unfortunately, that's not how it's turned out. So yeah, it's all a bit unexpected. It's all a bit kind of out of my control a little bit as well. So who else needs an invite? Drew, isn't this the launch system? It is indeed the launch system. The reason I came back here is because I just like the look of it. I thought we can try a hyperspace jump in an atmosphere, which I've never done. So wait, you sold your house. So yes, so I am moving out of my current house, which is in Kent, in the south of the UK, and I'm moving up north to Scotland, which is in the north of the UK, to basically get a slightly different quality of life. Is the aim. And but it's complicated because we have to sell our house here, move into rented accommodation for a bit, and then find ourselves a house up there, and that's going to take some time, obviously. Do I like haggis? I do like haggis. Yes, I do like haggis. They're little small creatures that walk up hillsides. The thing about haggis actually is that two of their legs are shorter than the legs. I think I'm right in saying the legs on the left side of the haggis are shorter than the legs on the right side of the haggis. So what that means is that when they're browsing the hillsides, they go up the hillside anti-clockwise until they get to the top. Then of course they can't keep going. So what they do then is they roll down the hillside with the aim of getting to the bottom, so they can start the process once again once the grass has regrown. And it's at that point that they're harvested by the Scottish people and turned into snacks. Do you have a rental place in Scotland? I don't, Blue Ganymede, at the moment. No, that's a good point. So if you've got any suggestions, then please do get in contact with me. Because we will be looking for one. We can't look at one yet because so yeah, so we're going to be. It's a bit stressful. The reason we're doing it this way is because the buying process in England and Scotland is different. Whereas in England, when you sell your house, everything can go wrong right up until the last minute when you actually basically hand the contracts over to each other and then say, right, we're going to sign this. Once you sign, then you're good. But right up until that point, everything can completely fall apart. The entire thing can fall apart. Whereas in Scotland, once you put an offer on a house and you've got the contractual stuff in place, it's legally binding from that perspective, that point forward, which could leave us in the awkward position of we sell our house in England, we go and put an offer on a place in Scotland where we're now legally bound to buy it. Then the place in England falls through and we've still got to buy the place in Scotland, which means we'd have two mortgages. One for the unsold house in England and one for the new house in Scotland, which basically isn't financially doable. So I'm not doing that. So what we're doing is we're moving into rented accommodation first in order to split that process into two bits. The problem with that, of course, is the rental accommodation could be anywhere and it's not going to be set up to do anything particular. It's literally a place to crash for a shorter period of time as I can get away with while we're looking for a new house. So I'm not planning on setting up my streaming gear or unpacking very much at all in that period. And I don't know how long it's going to be from the time I sell my current house here to the point I actually buy my final house where I can set up everything back up again. So that's basically I'm having to say I'm going to have to stop streaming, guys, which is basically what's happening tonight, because I just can't predict, and I've got to pack everything up at some point. So that's basically this week. So there we go. So. And the area you're moving to is bloody pricey during the tourist season. So, well, to be honest, Orkney Sean, we're not entirely set on any particular area. We have been looking as far north as Inverness, and in the sort of Angus, Aberdeen area, as well as the Borders and Ayrshire. So, basically, if we get the right place that ticks all the boxes, we'll go anywhere pretty much. So we'll have to see how it goes. But you never know. I might even be closer to you. Yeah, you'll be able to visit me if I'm up in Inverness, because you can fly down easy enough. So yeah, so we'll have to do that. The far-flung corners of the UK. Right. So yeah. So Inverness itself, we'll be living. We won't be in the towns. We're going to be hopefully in the countryside as much as possible. So we're going to be as away from the towns. We basically want as quiet a life as we can. But we still need a certain amount of internet, clearly. So we've got to balance things up. It's difficult balancing all these things up. Internet versus, picturesque versus access versus quiet. Yeah, it's a nightmare. It's a total nightmare. So yeah, to wait and see. Or just go up to Orkney. Of course, I could do that. So I've got no pending friend invites. How are we doing, my friends? How are we doing? We have got half an hour or so to go to get everybody in. We seem to be doing pretty well. There are a lot of ships here, which is good to see. I think it's only worth. I could try around Dundee. Yeah, Dundee's not a bad shot either. Notice to all Scottish squirrels, free nuts and Drew's place, location to be announced. Now I'm going to just. You guys keep your ships. As they are. Commander Techeron in chat in game there is a good question. What was your favourite moment of the last 13 Elite streams? That's a difficult one. Why are you asking me questions like that? My favourite moment. I can answer that in multiple ways. I think the in terms of Odyssey, the most fun I had, the exobiology was by far my favourite activity. So let's go with that in terms of the activity. In terms of the fun, I think actually the Thargoidy stuff that we did. I mean, it was intense, but it was very cool. So maybe that was the most fun. I actually enjoyed the Thargoid stuff more than I thought I was going to, and the SCO was good. I mean, that did have me giggling out loud, so that's a good sign. So yeah, all those were highlights, I think. Check the chrome to my right. Yeah, so all these ships are being very shiny. There's some shiny stuff. Let me just back off a bit, because what I'll do, if you guys all stay still. I just want to have a look around at some of the cool ships that you brought, because it's always nice to see. Because some of you have got ship kits and all sorts of things here. So let's have a look at the fleet that we've assembled. There we go. Look at this lot. It is good. This is one of the coolest things about Elite, is the fact that we can. Slowly and surely, obviously, because of the instancing, but we can get a massive convoy of ships assembled, and then do these amazing hyperspace jumps. So this is definitely an amazing thing. There are a lot of ships here, which is nice to see. Anacondas, cobras, crates, more anacondas. There's an asp over there. There's definitely some cobras about, which is good to see as well. I think that's an eagle up there, isn't it? Little eagle. Yay. There we go, look at that. Everyone doing little spinny things because they can. How do I get into the instance once part of a wing? Right, so if you're in a wing with somebody who's in the instance, basically what you have to do is you have to supercruise away and then supercruise back to here again. So what we're trying to do is get as many ships into the instance as we can. That does look pretty cool, doesn't it? This is nice because I haven't done this in an atmosphere before. Let's just go in a little bit closer. There we go. Space Polecat, let me try you again. See if I can get you into the team. Oh, it keeps updating. Why does it do that? Space Polecat. There you go. Right, I've just invited you to the team there. Hopefully that will show up on your HUD and you can accept it. Nice to see a few Imperial ships as well. This is all good. There we go. Space Polecat, you are now in my wing. So if you supercruise to where I am, i.e. Chamberlain's Rest, you should jump into this instance. Now once you're in the instance, just stay put. Do I have enough time to grab my man? But we will be jumping at about, yeah, we'll be probably doing the jump around about probably about on the hour. We'll probably aim for on the hour. I think that's going to be the easiest thing to do. Nice collection of ships, commanders. Really cool to see. We do like. Come on, I'm going to take my position. Now, I think it's only right that we go for a little fly through the mountains first. Okay. Because, yeah, that's going to look cool as well, right? I shall endeavour not to crash. Nobody, we don't want anybody to crash, so we should go for a little... Because we've got some terrain here, we should definitely go for a fly through the mountains. But then we will slow up. So there's a nice mountain range over there, isn't there? That we could fly to that mountain range, and then yeah, we could. I could dig out the Airwolf. Have I got my Airwolf? I could. Let's do that. Yeah. They'll get me a copyright strike, but hey, it's worth it. I could dig out the Airwolf theme, and we could go for a fly through the mountains, couldn't we? Let's try that. Now, where did I put my Airwolf theme? Let me see. Right, you guys keep getting people into the instance, and I will see if I can dig out. I should have thought about that. The Airwolf thing, because we definitely used that before, didn't we? Right, where will that be? I've got to remember how to do, mummy. That'll be under Elite Dangerous. I think we used that in the 07 tour. There it is, I've got it. So yeah, we'll do a bit of flying around to the Airwolf theme, and then we'll do our jump out as well, because that's fun. So this is going to be a mega ship jump. So okay, let me explain how this works for those of you who haven't done it. Some people won't have done this before. Some people will have done. So the way this works is basically we will, when the time comes, we will engage our hyperspace. I've got Jude on. We'll get hyperspace drives. That's what we need. We will engage our hyperspace drives, but we will not throttle fully up. This is very important, okay? Because if you throttle fully up, you'll suffer from premature jumping. You don't want to do that, okay? When the time comes, you will engage your hyperspace drive, but not throttle up. You will be cruising. Well, we normally set it to 100 meters per second, okay? So we will not throttle up fully. If you throttle up fully, you will jump out before time, and that doesn't work, okay? Well, at least it won't work for you. The rest of us will go, ha, look at that guy. You got it wrong. Yeah, fine, the Navigators Guild, the hyperspace drive. When the time comes, we'll engage hyperspace drive, but not throttle fully up. We'll peg speeds to 100 meters per second. Okay, if what we'll do is we'll set a time. It'll probably be 10 o'clock on the nose. Okay, and you need to look at. In fact, it will be 9 o'clock in-game time. Right. So have a look on your HUD on your copy of Elite Dangerous. Don't look at what's happening on the stream because that will be off sync. On your HUD, at 2100 hours exactly, with your hyperspace drive already engaged by that point, at 2100 exactly, you will throttle up to full power. Okay, what that means is everybody does that, everybody will accelerate, and everybody should jump into hyperspace at the same time, and it looks extremely cool. All right, so that's the objective. That's how these things work. We do that to musical accompaniment on the stream as well. So there we go. So we might. It's quite possible we're approaching the limits of the instancing if people are beginning to get errors. So we'll have to be careful. But I don't know how many ships we've got here. We've got quite a few. I can see a lot of ships stretching out from quite some distance there now. So keep trying it. If you're not in the instance, find somebody who is and wing up with them and try jumping out and jumping back in again. See how you can do. The more ships we have, the cooler obviously this looks. But we will go for a fly in a minute. So in 5 minutes' time, we're going to go for a little fly to accompaniment as well, and we'll see how that works. Because yeah, why not? So can I fly the ship with a rear view? Is there a default rear view? There is. There we go. So can I zoom out a bit? I can't zoom out from that camera sweet shot. Okay, never mind. 27 ships in the instance. Jump safe. Yeah, a ragtag fugitive fleet in search of something indeed. Okay, so Space Polecat, how are you doing, by the way? How many ships? Keep trying to get into the instance as well. So in about 5 minutes, we're going to go for a fly, and in 20 minutes' time, we will do the jump. I think that will work. So yeah. So okay. So reflecting on my 13 weeks of streaming, then. So 3 months. So yeah. So what was your least favourite moment from the streams? Least favourite? Oh God. Or in terms of content, I think the I did enjoy power play. Yeah. Actually, to be fair, yes, that was out and out the least favourite stream I did. It was just astonishingly badly boring and boring at the same time. Yeah, power play definitely. It was definitely a low point. Just wasn't anything to do with Elite, or what I think Elite is. I suppose that was my biggest objection to it. I quite like the idea of space politics, though. You know, I like writing space politics, but it didn't work as a thing in the game. I didn't think, and maybe. Oh, I'm drifting upwards, am I? Oh yeah, I am, aren't I? There we go. That's right. There we are. I'm back to zero. CQC was good fun. I did enjoy doing that. Will the previous streams be uploaded to YouTube? Yeah, so I've got that on my list of things to do, Biff Boy. Apologies for that. I haven't done those yet. I will upload both this stream and the other ones. And yeah, the vending machines. Yeah, that was funny, but it wasn't funny for the right reasons, was it? Yeah, so power play, no, that was a bit of a damn script. CQC was surprisingly good fun. That was good. I think overall, Odyssey, I like some of the stuff it's added. I do like the atmospherics, the atmospheres. Those are nice. Now that the game has settled down, and you gave me some tips on how to do the graphics by using the super sampling and things. The game actually looks okay now. And then also, here comes Commander Space Polecat. Yay! So that's definitely improvement. The on-foot stuff, I like the exobiology. I didn't really enjoy the first-person shootery stuff that much, but I didn't expect to be fair. I'm glad I tried it, and I get that some people do like that. The interior of the space stations are very, very well because they're so small and they're so limited. Totally spoiled by Star Citizen in that regard, so I'm not very impressed with those. I mean, they're nice, they're okay, but they're not great. They need to be like 4 or 5 times as big and procedurally generated, I think, to make me go, yeah, wow, that's really some interiors that's worth exploring. Because the idea that every planet in every place in every part of the universe is exactly the same interior just is mad. It's not realistic. So that could do with being a lot better than it actually is. However, it's nice to walk around the inside of a space station at last, so that is quite a good thing. The Spire sites were really good. I enjoyed those. The Thargoid Titan thing exploding. That was a good gaming moment. I thought that was definitely a highlight. So I'm glad that happened while I was streaming. So yeah, overall, I've come to. I don't think I'm a super fan of Odyssey, but I've come to appreciate it. I think going back to Elite without Odyssey now would be difficult. I've grown accustomed to her face. Let's put it like that. So you have convinced me that Odyssey is at least. Something that I would miss if it wasn't there. Is that fair? So that's definitely a step on from where I was. It needs to be there now. You can't have Elite Dangerous without Odyssey, I don't think. So I think it's it's after all this time, it's sort of earned its place. It is not perfect. By any stretch of the imagination. There's a lot that could be done to it to make it a lot better than it is. I don't like the fact that the grinding for the weapons and all that stuff, I didn't even have to do that. For the most part, that seemed a bit. I couldn't even be bothered. But it's nice that occasionally, randomly, grade 3 stuff like suits and guns just turns up, and that seems to turn up more often than you would necessarily expect sometimes. So I've got mostly grade 3 stuff just by kind of hanging around, and that's worked out quite well. So yeah, and hopefully in that 13 weeks I've done enough. Yeah, I've done my part in kind of trying to keep Elite going. That was always basically my intention, to A, give you guys a bit of encouragement, and B, anything I could do as an old timer on this to keep the wheels turning, keep the hamsters running, and etc. So I have changed my mind. I didn't like Odyssey, and I've grown to appreciate it a bit. Now I think that's good. Is Star Citizen procedure? No, I don't believe it is. That's the sort of one thing that I hope that Elite could kind of steal a march on in Star Citizen in some ways, because I don't know how difficult it is. I'm not a developer. I haven't been for 20 years now. But it doesn't seem to me that if you could generate a whole bunch of components that you couldn't procedurally generate star bases, it doesn't seem to be on the realms of possibility. It might be very difficult, but it doesn't seem to be on the realms of possibility. I was hoping that's the sort of thing that Frontier could do, procedurally generated star bases and things like that. I don't know, maybe that's too difficult, but the fact that they're all cookie cutter is a bit disappointing. So there we go. Right, it's I've been waffling, so let's do some flying. So we're going to take this cautiously. Now, if you're looking ahead of yourselves, you can probably see some mountains in the far off distance. Okay, we're going to go over there, right? So let's fly along. I'm going to throttle up to not full speed, so because there may be some slower ships in the convoy. So I'm going to go up to about 2/3 speed. So try and sync with me, and we'll go down on the deck. All right, and we're going to have some audio accompaniment. Are you ready? So here we go. Right, audio accompaniment is cued. Let's do some flying, my friends. And if you want to, I'm going to see if I can point my ship straight. If you want to duck and weave around me, don't crash into me. But if you want to duck and weave around me for FX, then please do, because I'll stick on the external camera. We'll see how we do. Are you ready? Let's do this thing. Here we go. I did say through the mountains, but it's a bit dangerous down there. Whoops. Somebody just lasered me. What are you doing? That was good. That was good. That would got me a copyright ban. Yes, it will. Well, oddly enough, sometimes I get away with it, and sometimes I don't, because I do those files myself. I do. It's in my own MIDI composition. It's my rendition of the tune. So technically, it's sort of fair use, but it's. What normally happens is I get a little strike on YouTube, and it basically says, you know, you've made a cover version. Are you happy to share the? Are you happy to share the revenue with the original creator? Which is, you know, obviously fine by me, because I wouldn't be able to write it all myself. So yeah, so I do play it on my keyboard. So am I happy to? Yeah, go on then. You know. Right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to form the fleet back up, because we've got 9 minutes left. So let's get everybody back into formation. We're currently mass locked, so I'm just going to pull up a little bit to make sure that we're all at the right altitude. I've got game music playing as well. Okay, so we need to get up, I think, about 2 kilometers up. So I'm just going to increase altitude a little bit here. So again, form up on me. So yeah, so they're my own MIDI renditions of famous theme tunes. Why is mine not going up? Yeah, so it should be. There we go. Right. Okay. Right. Mass lock is just above 2 kilometers up. So I think let's get up to 3 kilometers up in the atmosphere, and then we'll hold position there. I'm going to throttle back, so if you can form up on me, try not to crash into me, because I've just decelerated. So try and form up on me. If I can get my somebody's shit. I've got a red circle. Who's that?
Under attack.
I'm under attack. Who's shooting me? Has somebody actually tried to gank me in my own hyperspace jump? What's going on? Well, Raxler says first time chat. Ah dear. Right, the fleet is assembled. This is the one. It's the one with the big hall. That's me, definitely. Yeah, I've definitely got a big hall. Yeah. Right. What I'm going to do is I can also hear, because we've ended up in a combat mode, I can hear the in-game music playing. So I'm just going to switch that off. We don't want that spoiling our fun. Right. Now, next step. Okay, everybody, is you need to target the right star system. So I'm going to just type this into the chat. Here is you need to have your hyperspace system locked on this system here. So Col 285 sector, I think that's HBD A42-3. Stream sniped on his last stream. I know, it's outrageous, isn't it? So you can cut and paste it from the game. Yeah, I could do that, but that would require me doing things properly. I mean, come on, you've been watching my streams the last 13 weeks. What are you talking about? It's 9 light years away, so it should be in range of pretty much everybody's drive. Okay, so lock your hyperspace system on that system now. Okay, Col 285 sector HBD A42-3. That's where you're going to be jumping to. All right. Now, again, we are now 4.5 minutes away. When the counter gets to 2100 hours on your HUD, on your ship, not on the stream, on your HUD, then you need to do the jump. Okay, you need to throttle up. So we're going to start rolling in a minute. So what I want you to do at this point is, while we're all stationary, engage your hyperspace drives. Do not throttle up. Okay, I repeat, do not throttle up. Engage your hyperspace drive, but do not throttle up. Are we clear? Right? Engage the drive, do not throttle up. That's what I'm going to do right now. Okay, so what will happen is your drive will charge, ready to go, while we're stationary. It'll take a little moment because some of you are going to be mass locked by everybody else. So just get it. You only said it a dozen times. Can you repeat it? Right, do not throttle up. All right, do not. I repeat, do not throttle up. Just charge your drive. Okay, you should get the message throttle up to engage on your HUD. Okay, that's good, but don't throttle up. Now what we're going to do is we're going to proceed forward in the direction of the star that we've got on the hyperspace target at 100 meters per second. Okay, don't go any faster than that. Okay, 100 meters per second. So I'm going to start the convoy rolling now, and we're going to move at 100 meters per second. Okay, so set your speed, point directly at the star, and set your speed to 100 meters per second. Here we go. Nice and gently does it. All right. 100 meters per second is set because the slower ships in the game can guarantee to reach that. So set your HUD, as I'm doing here, to about 100 meters. I got it to 99. There we go. About 100 meters per second. That should keep you in formation with me. Stay with me in formation, because I generally try and film this from outside. Okay, so I'm going to play the music. Are you ready? Here we go. And I'm going to go X base outside. When somebody's done the thing. Somebody did the thing. Don't throttle up until 2100 on your HUD. Okay. Here we go. Ragtag fugitive fleet, my lonely quest, a shining planet known as Earth. Better do the job myself. Right. Congratulations, everybody. That was well executed. We did a good job there. We did a good job. Fade the battle star away. There we go. Fantastic. Thank you ever so much for doing that, everybody. Thank you to everybody who's been involved in this. So first I need to thank all the mods on my Discord. They do a sterling job of just keeping things on. They've been working very hard the last few weeks, just keeping everything in order. Thanks to all of you players who joined me on these shenanigans. Thanks to all of you who've guided me through Elite Dangerous. Honestly, it actually made me actually enjoy it a lot. So thank you very much for that as well. I really appreciate all the efforts you've done. Thank you for turning up to watching the Twitch stream, taking part and just having lots and lots of fun. Really appreciate all that. And just a big thanks, I suppose, to the wider Elite Dangerous community. So keep the torch burning whilst I'm away, my friends. Keep the flag flying, all that kind of stuff. And keep the engines warm until such time as I can return. I will be back, but I'm not quite sure where. I'm not quite sure when, but we will meet again some sunny day. So let's see how it goes. Best of luck with everything, and thank you very much for the company. It's been a blast. It has been a really, really good time. So thank you very much for all the good wishes as well. I will keep you posted on the Discord as to how I'm doing. You can follow me on Twitch and YouTube as the usual places as well. So fantastic stuff. It only remains for me to say a big 07 Commanders. I will see you soon. Be good. Take it easy and stay safe. Fly safe out in the void. 07 Commanders. Right on.